And the family guy himself, the Doug's Home Improvements, number 21 from New Salem, Massachusetts. It is Doug Phelps. On the starter stand now is Mike Helberg. As the lights are off on the safety vehicle at the point, we'll look for that pace car to dive to the center of the infield. If you're keeping track, this will be our third feature event in tonight's program. All of this is part of the NASCAR Wheeler All-American Series and the official parts store of the Stafford Motor Speedway, Napa, where Napa know-how is more than a phrase, it's a way of life. Pace car pulls away. Get ready. It's almost showtime. These are the limited late models. We told you the story of the points, but now it's time to show their performance as they rumble back to the line. Double greens are out, Matt.
And also out is R.J. Surdell, as he is able to get the advantage over Lavoie and Frank Littrell. He is in a hurry in car number 11 as he tries to blur his way underneath the 6.
Car number 3 spins down the back straightaway, and the 21 machine of Doug Phelps tries to avoid the situation and tags the late runs. But when it comes to the closer of the deal, they seem to be plagued with misfortune. And it all began here at the Spring Sizzler when they lost a motor and had to borrow another motor and then work their way from the back to the front. Woody Pitkat could be an odds-on favorite going in next Friday night. Some might consider him a long shot, but when you look at the stats and you look at his run, him and Rowan Pennick could become big factors here on home turf.
Right now, who will be a big factor on this start? And the answer to that question is Jeremy Lavoie.
Sure is, the Aspen Hill Farms machine, but guess what?
All back.
The yellow comes out. Now, we told you earlier in tonight's program that the guys that have the toughest jobs in the house include Scott Tapley, the legendary race director, and director of race operations, Tom Fox. Now, they look at this stuff very, very closely to make sure that nobody has an advantage over the car alongside. They are told in the driver's meeting exactly how the fields are supposed to start. There is what they call the start box, which is located in turn number 4. And let's see if they're going to do it right this time. There is the green. They're evenly matched as they head to the bottom of turn number 1. And Robert Surdell is the leader of the pack. Trouble now. Lavoie gets tagged. He gathers it back. Frank Littrell is there in the 3rd spot.
And it is Albert Saunders trying to make some noise. Here comes Littrell as he is able to nitro his way underneath Lavoie. And the hole is open, and now Albert Saunders will be trying to take advantage of that.
Well, that's been happening. Provost, the point leader, follows the Saunders twins to the front of the class, getting stronger each and every time out. The same can be said for both Littrell and, of course, Lavoie. Meanwhile, here comes the defending champ. He's showing he's not a chump. He's a contender as he ruffles some feathers to take over the 3rd spot.
Yeah, he's able to elbow his way into the top 3. And look at his twin brother, Cliff Sanders, as he is going to roller coaster his way underneath Lavoie. So Lavoie right now stuck on the bottom, and he is vulnerable to the point leader, Dwayne Provost.
He certainly is, and they are really running nose to tail, putting on a show as they rumble back to the stripe. No question about it. Now pulling down to the inside, trying to get around Frank Littrell. Can't do it, but all of a sudden it is Albert Saunders looking racy to the inside as the twins are going to work over Littrell, who currently holds on to the number 1 position.
And that screech you hear is coming from the 04 of Albert Saunders by a nostril, and finally he is able to get halfway underneath the 11th car, and now he completes the move. So a pretty good piece of driving that time by Albert Saunders.
And if one twin can do it, why can't the other? Cliff Saunders is working his magic with the 4 car as he moves on to the podium in the 3rd spot. Here comes the point leader, Provost, to the inside, car number 88, as Dwayne Provost moves into the 4th position. Frank Littrell drops back to 5, and now all of a sudden, Paul Arute, the Supreme Industries car, is looking supreme among the top 6 cars.
And he is trying to get under Frank Littrell, has some momentum as they pound each other coming off the corner, and almost getting a piece of the wall that time was Frank Littrell.
There's no question about it. They come rumbling side by side. Meanwhile, here comes Paul Arute. He'll take over the 5th spot. Challenge for the lead. Robert Surdell has led 6 of 22 off the turn. The first lead change of the event. is about to occur, but it's not without a fight because Surdell still had it at the line.
Well, Alexandra Bird says there is an outside groove. R.J. Surdell trying to hope that she is right as he stays close to Albert Saunders. But now Saunders, he is able to rock it away, and here comes Cliff Saunders going down low, trying to can opener his way underneath Surdell.
There's no question about it. They are almost even when they come to the stripe. Paul LaRue has come from the back of the field, from the 10th position, and has worked his way into the top 5. Challenges for second, car number 4. Cliff Saunders trying to make his presence known down underneath Surdell. Surdell shuts the door, guards the spot, tries to keep it nice and low, and Surdell is back in command of position number 2.
Cliff Saunders has looked a lot better about the last 3 or 4 races, and right now he is abusing the back bumper of the R.J. Surdell car. Right behind the 4 car is Provost, and now some inside position opens up for Saunders, and as Surdell goes around, contact between he and the 4 car, and there is a mess, and the car goes overboard.
It is the Frank Latois machine that literally rolled on its side as things got literally jammed together and a pig pile was formed. As we can see the Latois car, actually it went over easy. Lavoie was the car on the inside of it.
It looks like the Leaning Tower of Pisa as they try to get it back on its wheels.
And it appears that the Lavoie car is able to pull away. Now the track crew, all in an effort.
And the wrecker comes over.
Yep. And Frank Latois is out of the race car. He's looking at the car itself, and we've seen these situations happen before like this. Don't be surprised.
The traffic lights.
You certainly would be sitting there a little bit longer, Matt, than usual. But for the rest of us, well, it'll be a whole different story as well. So it looks like we're doubling them up. 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 cars contending. Now make it 9 as Brian Narducci comes back out and picks up at the rear of the field. Brian was on Matt Buckler's show the other day. And Matt, you were quite pleased at how enthusiastic that Brian is.
Yeah, and he was still on cloud 9. A week after he got the win, he was still ecstatic about it. And unfortunately, he will be back on pit road. The man who's trying to get back into the lead is Albert Saunders, but Paul LaRue is giving him a lot to think about.
He certainly is. Now, if you look at the front of the Arute car, you can see he was involved in that jingle as well, and literally the hood is starting to buckle up, but it doesn't seem to slow it down, as Albert Saunders is still the leader of the pack, and Lavoie has moved into the top 3. Here's a surprise. David Teft. But a bigger surprise, Matt, the point leader.
Wade Provost is limping off the track, and that could be a big news story for Paul LaRue because he could grab the point lead tonight and to make it easier for him if he could get the lead away from Albert Saunders. But right now, Saunders looks tough. Cliff Saunders trying to make something happen against David Teft.
He certainly is, and Teft was doing a pretty good job. He's really a rookie in this class as well. Meanwhile, Bren moves into the top 4. Back in the 5th position is the number 4, and that's Cliff Saunders. Out in front, Albert Saunders continues to be the driving force at the front of the field. The Supreme Industries car hunts down the American sleeve-bearing machine, as meanwhile, the Aspen Hill Farms machine of Lavoie is up on the podium, turned a negative into a positive. He was involved in that jingle, but comes back to the front, and he's now running stronger than he was at the start of this event. 10 laps remaining of 22.
And the lead continues to shrivel for Albert Saunders, but he has a reputation for being very difficult to pass. So we'll see what Paul LaRue can do as he is trailing by about an elephant's trunk in second place. We have a good battle for 4th and 5th between Justin Bren and Cliff Saunders. Remember, Sanders had to go to the rear of the field after that incident with R.J. Surdell.
The same thing can be said for Surdell. He was up front. Now he's coming from the back, thundering his way to the front of the field. 14 laps are now complete. Still the leader is Albert Saunders, defending champion. And with this success tonight, with Provost down on pit road, he could move into the number 1 spot, Matt, in the point parade.
Yeah, now remember the last time there was a 22-lap feature. the extra mark, extra distance event, Paul LaRue took advantage of those extra 2 laps to get by Albert Saunders. The question is, can history repeat, or will Saunders be able to hold his ground?
There's no question about it. Fastest car on the racetrack is Albert Saunders, 21.550. Second fastest car is Paul LaRue with a 21.722. So they are close through timing and scoring. But meanwhile, the leader still remains Saunders. But there's a dogfight battle going on for the 4th, 5th, and 6th position. Brent is holding on to the 4th spot. And then it is the 4 car of Cliff Saunders right behind him. Now Cliff Saunders tries to squeak down low, Matt, and Serdell is right there waiting for that curtain call.
And this is would have been one of the stronger outings for R.J. Serdell. Look at Cliff Saunders. He tries to torpedo his way underneath Justin Brent, and he completes the move. Meanwhile, the script remains the same at the front of the field. As the lead is stabilized for Albert Saunders, it hasn't gotten any bigger, and it hasn't gotten any smaller.
It certainly has not. They are out in front and literally motoring away with 18 laps of 22 now in the record books. Lavoie in the comfort zone, the red number 6, the Aspen Hill Farms car, and setting in the 4th position, it is still the other American sleeve-bearing twin, car number 4 of Cliff Saunders. Then it's Serdell working from the back of the pack, now moving into the top 5 with the number 87 machine, with Brent setting in the 6th spot.
We are about to find out who will be the beneficiary of the 2 extra laps. Will it be Albert Saunders? Will it be Paul LaRue? As they blister their way into turn number 1, it is still the 04. He is the ringleader of the parade, Albert Saunders.
There's no question about it. There is less than 1 mile left. And if anyone was saving anything, they're going to show it now. Here comes the white flag off turn number 4. Saunders is still the leader. Right in his tire tracks, it is a route with car number 82. Final time through turn number 1. Saunders, perfect, hits his marks. Paul LaRue giving it his all as they head down the back straightaway.
They'll have one last opportunity heading into turn number 3. Here he comes. Can Sanders close the door? He springboards his way off of turn number 4 and is headed for home.
There's no question about it. Albert Saunders, the defending champion and now the point leader, unofficially will take down the win. Paul LaRue will finish in 2nd. Jeremy Lavoie will finish in 3rd.
Cliff Saunders here with Albert Saunders. He's getting out of his car, getting ready to celebrate. Albert, you're the unofficial point leader. You had a great race tonight. You managed to stay out of that wreck. What worked for you?
Car was perfect tonight. Awesome setup from Barry Fluckinger and Fluckinger Race Chassis. Car was perfect tonight. Felt like we've had the best car here probably the last 4 or 5 weeks, and just wrecks, circumstances, flat tires, broken parts. Just it's been a while since we've won, but got it all tonight, so it was really good. Got to thank American Sleeve Bearing, B Museo, Rad Auto Machine, Rob Davis, Fluckinger Race Chassis, my mom, the whole team, especially Barry Fluckinger for all the hard work on the car, and the car was flying tonight. It was really cool to be out there.
Congratulations, Albert. Your unofficial points leader in first place in tonight's feature, now with John Gates in the 2nd and 3rd place finishers.
Okay, hey Paul, the car doesn't look too good, but it was a good run. Seemed like you were quick and really catching that number 04 tonight car. But I tell you what, the 82 looked fast. 2nd place, congratulations.
Yeah, that was a tough one. It was really just on that big wreck there. It was just a roadblock. You feel for the guys that got bound up there, but it's racing. It sucks, but I was trying to catch the 04. I didn't want to get in the back when this hood would have just come right off, and that would have been the end of me. So just trying to get him. Can't thank my entire crew enough. Steve, Everett, Rick, Mike, Tom, everybody, all my sponsors. Happy to be up here again.
Paul LaRue puts the Supreme Industries number 82 into 2nd place. Let's talk to Jeremy Lavoie. Hey, 3rd place for the number 6 car tonight. Jeremy, you got to be happy about that.
What a wild night. Just to load it on the trailer feels like a win. There was nowhere to go in 3 and 4. Everybody just started piling up. And, I was just checking my temperature, checking my temp, make sure the radiator was intact in one piece. And, like I said, 2nd top 3 this year is awesome for us. I got to thank my sponsor. He showed up tonight. He's been here the past couple weeks, but we haven't been able to show for him. So, Aspen Hill Farm. Anybody needs a pony rental, give him a call, and he'll hook you up. I also got to thank Jeans Ford and Chevy and Silk Car Corporation. Without them, this race operation would not be complete.
Jeremy Lavoie puts the number 6 car into 3rd place tonight, so a good run in that limited late model main event, and good guy right there, Jeremy Lavoie, 3rd place.
Certainly is, and congratulations goes out to the top 3 there. Coming up next on our schedule for tonight's program.